afternoon, everyone. I'm Christina Connors, and I'm honored to be here. I just wanted to give a shout out to David Friedman, who is the composer of the song I will be singing. He wrote this song especially for this project. Fly with me to the soulful forest, that's where you will find the answers to so many questions floating round your mind. For in the soulful forest there's so much to see and do. But best of all, in the soulful forest you'll discover you. Climb the tranquil tree with me, that's where new friendships start. Spend time at Camp Kindness and you'll open up your heart. Mindful mountains where you'll learn today's the best by far. Reflect on the reflecting pond and you'll learn who you are. In the tranquil tree you'll discover home tweet home. That's where the tweethearts welcome you so you won't be alone. And if you find you're mad or sad or someone's made you flat, the field of forgiveness will make you take care of that. So fly with me to the soulful forest where there's sure to be lots of songs, stories, safety, and serenity. The soulful forest is a place where all your dreams come true. And best of all, you'll find your answers right inside of you.
Good afternoon. That is my friend and co-creator, and I got so excited about listening to her sing, I forgot that I had to come up here. I'm just blown away by her voice and her talent and her heart. We are very, very excited to have Senator Blumenthal with us, and the reason I'm so excited is I like you a lot. You speak truth to power, and one of the things about you is you are about kindness and inclusion. You have represented our state with kindness, integrity, and your willingness to be so inclusive, and I just admire you, and I'm so happy to be here. Senators usually like to talk, so I'd love to have you talk, but I do know the senator does have a family obligation that he has to get to, so we were taking millions of pictures, so I can prove to my dad that...
Thank you so much. If everyone can hear me, I'll just speak from here. Can everyone hear me? Yes. I am really honored and inspired to be here today because my goal, as you have described it so well, really is about kindness, inclusion, but also caring and the values of our democracy. And I want to say first thank you to Terry and Deborah and Mariam for your just gift. It's a gift to all of us. This book is more than just something in writing or pictures. It's a gift about those values. And thank you, Christine, for that beautiful song, which is a great way to begin and much more powerful than anything I'm going to say. But I do want to quote from the book something that really hit my heart. When people find love in a world of hate, loving kindness is the language they create. I encounter division, disagreement, animosity, hostility, and sometimes hatred, literally every day. In Washington, D.C., and even in Connecticut. So this book is really going to inspire me to reach higher, to continue my work. I hope you will continue your work, to make ourselves worthy of these kinds of goals and to achieve. Mariam, even at a young age, understands how important diversity diversity and inclusion and caring on. She has given us a lesson. My colleagues in the United States Senate need that lesson. I'm not here to talk politics. We don't have a partisan gathering here, but I will tell you, my colleagues on both sides of the aisle feel that a country that separates children from their families betrays American values, and that is not kindness or caring or inclusion. We are the greatest nation in the history of the world because we are a nation of immigrants. My father came here in 1935 to escape hatred and persecution in Germany. He was 17 years old, not much older than Mary. He knew no one here. He had not much more than a shirt on his back, and he spoke no English. This country gave him a chance to succeed because it is a country about inclusion and kindness and care. At its heart, in its soul, that's America. That's one of the lessons of this beautiful book, that we all ought to aspire and work to make America the country of our dreams, the American dream. So thank you to Deborah Clark and Terry Murphy and Miriam. I am so deeply indebted to you. I am going to take this lesson to Washington and make it. Please come see me in Washington. We need friendly faces. We need your lessons. And sometimes the children are the ones who best understand what we should do. Thank you.
Please come in and have a seat. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. I'm so excited that you're here. So I have to tell you, I had a very carefully lined up agenda. Yeah, but the senator showed up early and had to go, so this is what you do. It was so wonderful for him to be here. He's just amazing. So, we have a theme song. And we have a book. All we need now is a phone call from Pixar, and I think we're going to be all set. So, that's what we're waiting for. I am delirious today. I am delirious. I am so happy. And I am also Terry Murphy. And I would like to welcome you. I would like to welcome you on behalf of myself and my sister and Miriam, who are coming out from behind the curtain right now. It's like Oz, you know what I mean? They're coming out from behind the curtain right now. There you go. Thank you for joining us. We are here today to celebrate diversity, to celebrate everything inside of each one of us that makes us unique and valuable, and we all need to be here. So I have to tell you something. Whenever I go to a meeting or a gathering of any kind, I have 3 questions. You might have the same questions. Is there food? When do we eat? And are there cookies? So I'm going to let you know. We had the music, the Soulful Forest, and then we had our special guest, which is really great. And this is the introduction. And in just a moment, I'm going to bring Dr. Woodall up. And then we're going to have any kids that want to kind of go out in the hallway. They're going to learn a special song that they're going to sing at the end with Christina. And then Miriam's going to get up and she's going to talk about the power and promise of readings. And then we're going to have my sister, Deborah, my favorite sister. She's also my only sister, but she rocks. She's the best. And then she's going to read the book, which is what we all kind of came here to hear, I think. And then Christina will get up with the kids, and she's going to sing the final song, We Can Be Kind. So right now, as we move closer to cookie time, I am going to introduce you to Dr. John Woodall, who's standing back there. He has an academic resume this big. I didn't read it because it was a lot of words, but one of the words in there was Harvard. He went to Harvard, and I don't know if he just drove on the parking lot and drove off again, I have no idea, but he went to Harvard. In that case, I went to Harvard too, and I also went to Yale. But so, the thing that makes him special is not that he is brilliant. There are two things that make him incredible. The first one is, and I don't know what degree he had yet to do this, but he asked Margot to be his wife. And Margot is probably one of the nicest people so whatever he's done in the world of smarts, this was truly the smartest move. And the other thing I love about him is he has a huge heart. He loves everybody. He wants justice and inclusion for everyone. And furthermore, he's a gentleman and a gentleman. And I am honored that he is my friend. This is Dr. John Woodall.
You're right, the best decision ever made was marry Margot. Our anniversary was just last week. To offer up a lesson, while people are still looking again, we're kind of filling in time a little bit also. So I just wanted to point out that I think we're at a turning point in history. And this kind of tension between we get smaller and more angry and more hateful when things get stressful, or we become bigger, kinder, more compassionate, more loving and inclusive. I think every kid in this room knows the answer. We become bigger, we don't become small. And now, here's a question. When Rosa Parks was 8 years old and was in a room full of adults, who was the most important person in that room? Rosa Parks was, even though she was 8. If when George Washington was in a room with a bunch of adults and he was 9, who was the most important person in the room? George Washington. The kids in the room right now are the most important people in this room, not because of who you are so far, who you're going to become. You're the ones who are going to have to bring us into unity, into this spirit of one human family. I found a beautiful prayer that says that I think will get us going as we go through what people coming. So it comes from the Baha'i writings. So if you'll join me in this prayer. O thou kind Lord, thou hast created all humanity from the same stock. Thou hast decreed that all shall belong to the same household. In thy holy presence they are all thy servants, and all mankind are sheltered beneath thy tabernacle. All have gathered together at thy table of bounty. All are illumined with the light of thy providence. O God, thou art kind to all. Thou hast provided for all, dost shelter all, conferrest life upon all. Thou hast endowed each and all with talents and faculties, and all are submerged in the ocean of thy mercy. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Let the religions agree and make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family, and the whole earth as one home. May they all live together in perfect harmony. O God, raise aloft the banner of the oneness of mankind. O God, establish the most great peace. O thou kind Father God, gladden our hearts with the fragrance of thy love. Brighten our eyes through the light of thy guidance. Delight our ears with the melody of thy word, and shelter us all with the stronghold of thy providence. Thou art mighty and powerful, brothers and sisters. Let's get on with it. Thank you.
He is one of my favorite humans in the whole world. But then, so are all of you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. I'm going to tell you what the agenda. I don't know if you have the program, but we saw in the program is the story of the story. So I'm going to tell you the story of the story. My husband is back there, and he's going to do this when I start to go too long, because I could do about 2 hours worth of story, like I could be a politician, I'm telling you right now. So he is going to, what's going on now? Oh yeah, we'll make it finish. Hang on. So we're going to tell you the story. Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you, Sophie. That's my grandbaby, Sophie. And she just reminded me of something. I got so excited to tell you the story of the story. We'd like to ask if kids can go out into the hallway. Any children that feel comfortable that would like to sing a song at the end, if you would like to go with Sophie, we're going to teach you guys to sing a song, and then you're going to come up on stage. You get to come up on stage. Okay? You're going to go with that beautiful lady, Christina, and this beautiful lady, Sophie. They're going to take you downstairs. I promise you'll be back before Christmas. Can you go downstairs? Okay, how we doing? I love this. There's so many people that know each other out there. All the kids out? Okay, now I can tell you the stories of the story. This story started back in 2013. I was young back in 2013. I met Christina at church, and she's young and pretty and talented, so I didn't want to hang out with her because that was kind of depressing. But she kept sitting next to me all the time, and I couldn't get rid of her. It was very annoying. So she and I went to lunch one day, and we looked across the table, and we realized we had the same heart. She had a heart for kids, and she said, I have an idea, and I want to start singing about it. And I said, I want to start writing about it. So she and I went to Panera Bread all the time, and we sat there for every Tuesday for years. And what we came up with is this. This was a constant. This is what we knew we wanted to do. This is a metaphor for our own internal spiritual life, our relationship with God and others. This is called the Soulful Forest, and it lives inside of each of us. The only way into the Soulful Forest is in through the Gratitude Garden, because we know that all good things start in gratitude. Sometimes we go up to the top of Mindful Mountain, where we have perspective and we can see things a little bit better and we can get into the now. Sometimes we have to come down the river of resilience, because life is full of bumps. We lose people, grief, sadness happens, and we have to learn how to become resilient on that river. And when we get down to the bottom, we end up at the Pondering Pond. And that gives us a moment to reflect and find out where we stand in the world and what that suffering may have meant to us. Sometimes we go to the Sunflower Cafe, where we have a little bite to eat and listen to some music. That's where Christina's going to do a lot of singing. Sometimes we have to go into the field of forgiveness. The most important thing is to forgive ourselves. Once we forgive ourselves, then we can begin to forgive others. Sometimes we go to Camp Kindness, where we learn how to get along with other people. Sometimes we have to go to the Wellness Clinic, and there's a bird there that runs that, and she tells us how to take care of our bodies. We always avoid Camp Chaos at Billy Gator's farm, because that's where everyone seems constantly alarmed. And then we have Diversity University, and we came up with this. And through the years, we came up with lots of crazy characters. We came up with all kinds of different people that could go into that forest. What we needed was a child's guide inside. That's what we were looking for. And we came up with several hundred characters, none of which really seemed to do it for us. So about 18 months ago, Christina and I, after meeting at Panera Bread and getting real jacked up on a lot of coffee, we started going to a couple of places, I'll be honest with you, that served wine. And one of the places we went to, she and I talked about it, and we needed a break, because we've been working on this since 2013. My daughter was getting ready to have a baby, and she wanted to she wanted to do an album. This is my shameless promotion of my friend and co-creator, Christina Connors. This is for sale in a little while. She does beautiful, beautiful works. So she wanted to focus on that, and I wanted to focus on this. This is Sydney. Sydney was at my house one day, and she was looking outside. It was kind of an ugly day, and I sat down and I said, look at you. It looks like a forest, doesn't it? I said, little Sydney, it looks like a forest. And she looked at me. She doesn't really speak. And I said, you're a very soulful child, aren't you? Soulful, Sydney, Sydney's Soulful Forest. Have you ever had one of those moments? Ah! That was it. I knew that this was the child's guide inside. I called Christina and I said, we're going to write a series of children's books, and it's going to be about everything in the Soulful Forest, and we have to decide. And I said, I'm so excited, it's Soulful City. And she said, I am so glad your daughter didn't name that baby Gertrude. I'm so excited. So then I did what I always do when I think I have a fabulous idea. I call my sister. I go, Deb, I think I have this great idea. And she said, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Deb is my go-to girl. She is my touchstone. And when we started talking about this, she said, you know what? I think we have something. And we started thinking about the values that our parents, I'm going to get a little emotional, the values that our parents taught us. And we wanted to think about what we wanted to leave. What's the world we want to leave behind? Do we want to focus on forgiveness, kindness? What is it that we want to focus on first in this first book? And we decided, absolutely, given the current environment, it was diversity. And once that was decided, I needed to find somebody who knew about inclusion. I needed to find somebody that could speak to that. And that is my very dear friend, Iman Mishtali. Iman is my sister from another mother. And I went to the mosque and I talked to the kids, and Miriam was the first one that shot up like a rocket. And she said, I can help you with this. And she is a poet and a writer. And the three of us were in complete unity with what we wanted to do. And we have created a book that came together so quickly. It's almost miraculous. We needed a writer, we needed somebody, we needed Tion. Is Tion's brother here? Tion's brother, he coincidentally lives in Hartford, and he's going to be here a little bit later today. And we are Facebook Live right now, aren't we, Liz? Yes, we are. Tion, who is the illustrator of this book, is watching us right now in India. She is in Kolkata, India. Olivia, can you show everybody? Everybody say hi. I have never actually met this girl, and I feel like she's one of my best friends. She's dear. The four of us were in complete unison with what it is that we wanted to accomplish. And then because we didn't want it to be a book just about Muslims, we wanted it to be a book about diversity, we included some other kids and their faith. And when you're in the back later today buying a dozen copies, you'll be able to read their individual stories. And we are very proud. And some of the kids are here today, and I'm sorry that I'm a little nervous and I can't find you in the crowd right now, but we will recognize you. What I wanted to let you know is it's been a little bit of magic and a lot of miracles. From a story idea at the very beginning of January to a book in our hands and available on Amazon Kindle on April 27th, that is absolutely miraculous. This book right now, as we speak, and here comes some kids. This book is right now in Sri Lanka, England, Malawi, India, Germany, throughout the United States, in Hawaii, California, Florida, and Texas. This has been divinely inspired all the way along. And I speak for myself and Miriam. I think that we have been blessed by a power greater than our own all the way along, and that's what propelled this glory. I want to let you know, our diversity is our strength, and our connection is our hope. Thank you for being here today. This was the story of the story. Thank you for being here. I got so excited. Charlie, I did good, right? I want to know, he's breaking his wrist back there right now. I would like to introduce to you Miriam Aziz. I have been describing Miriam, do that. I have been describing Miriam as a little Spitfire, a spark plug, but you know what? Yeah. Okay, I have been describing her in little ways. But what I didn't tell you is that she is, I love her. She's inspired, she's observant, she's kind, and she has a heart for all humanity, not just Muslims, for every religion. She's a very respectful young lady, and I am so proud that we got a chance to work on this together. Miriam Aziz.
going to read a couple verses from chapter 96 of our Holy Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Read in the name of your Lord, who created you from a clinging cloth. Read, and your Lord is most bountiful, who taught to write with a pen, taught man what he knew not. These verses that I just recited are from chapter 96 of our Holy Quran. They are the first verses that were revealed, and I am going to share with you this story. Over 1,400 years ago lived an orphaned, unlettered, and kind man who earned a title, Al-Amin, the trustworthy, as a young boy by the people of his community. He loved his community, but his heart was restless about the morality and the social ills that dominated the Meccan society at the time, including the abuse and neglect of women, an unfair imbalance of wealth, and abuse of those living in poverty. At that time, Angel Gabriel of divine revelation appeared before Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in his human form, sending out a divine radiance around in the dark night. He spoke to him in a loud but calming voice. Read. The heart of Muhammad was filled with wonder and fear. His heart shivered. He answered, I don't know how to read. Gabriel hugged him and held him tight. Then Gabriel released him, saying, Read. And then he replied with the same answer, I do not know how to read. Gabriel hugged him for the third time, and held him tight. And then Gabriel released him, saying, Read. This time Muhammad said, I do not know how to read. Tell me, what shall I read? Thereupon the angel recited the first verses of chapter 96, Al-Alaq. Read in the name of your Lord who created you from a clinging cloth. Read, and your Lord is most bountiful, who taught to write with a pen, taught man what he knew not. There are many lessons that can be learned from the story of the first verses of Revelation. My family and my Sunday school teachers remind us of the importance of reading and of the advancement of the humankind in every one of their endeavors, from knowing how to write, from being able to share knowledge with others, and with future generations to build on. I want to thank many people today. I want to thank Terry, Deborah, Tian, and Christina, the team that worked together to bring Soulful Sydney Explores Diversity to you. Special thanks to my Aunt Terry, who believed in me. I enjoyed my daily exchange of emails with her during the winter. Thank you to my mother's mentor and friend, Patty Peck. Patty! And her program at the ELTI. To Carol Ann Davis and her Newtown Poetry Project that myself, my mother, and my brothers used to go to every Wednesday. To Marie and the Newtown Public Library, who read to me stories when I was 4 and 5. To my beautiful and smart teachers at our mosque, who volunteered their time to teach me and other kids, not only about our true faith, but also about the U.S. Constitution and the history of our country. To the Newtown Interfaith community, who welcomed our newly founded community center in 2012 to their interfaith events, and have always been fair and inclusive. To everyone, may Vida's peace and blessings be with you, and may the power of reading, knowledge, and compassion bring us together to make this world a better place for all of children and all of humanity. Thank you. Deb, who we couldn't have done this without her, she edited and she did some of of the things, and she fixed it up and made it perfect.
All right, it is my pleasure to read this book to you, and I hope that if you have already read it, that you will enjoy it again, and if you haven't read it or haven't heard it, that you will be inspired by the message that we have. Soulful Sydney explores diversity. Sydney and her dog Max see new neighbors next door. And Sydney tells Max, I hope there are kids like before. Wondering together who they might be, they count parents and a girl, a family of 3. Eagerly, Sydney runs on ahead. Cautiously, Max takes a bit longer to tread. For covering the girl's head is a scarf of dark blue, and Max is suspicious of anything new. He started to growl, fear raising his hair, baring his teeth to a menacing glare. To protect this young girl with skin so fair, Sydney clearly warned Max, don't you dare. Beneath the blue scarf were chocolate brown eyes, and a smile so sweet it would be hard to disguise. The warmth and the kindness with the friendly voice called to Sydney, who became completely enthralled. She said, my name is Sydney, and my dog who seems rude is Max, whose fear sometimes ruins his mood. Nodding, the girl said, a hijab can seem like something strange, but talking about it helps people and dogs to change. Petting Max to soothe him, Sydney said, help me understand. And the girl with the big eyes held out a friendly hand. My name is Miriam, and if you come beside me to sit, I'll share my lunch and tell you all about it. Thank you so much, replied Sydney, feeling happy. And even Max stopped acting mean and snappy. While Miriam explained the hijab upon her head, they took time to relax and together break bread. As they sat under the shade of a giant oak tree, becoming good friends, this party of 3, Miriam said, Muslims aren't about hocus pocus. Character, dignity, and respect are our main focus. I wish there was a place where we could all learn about religion and cultures and all kids get a turn. Sydney exclaimed, maybe if we look, we'll find such a place where there's regard for all faiths and respect for each race. And so Sydney asked Miriam to join on a quest to put their theory of acceptance to the test. Through the garden gate, the answers were near. Little did they know it was crystal clear that by adopting just the right attitude, they could enter into the garden of gratitude. Counting their blessings as the gate opened wide, Sydney and Miriam became each other's guide. They found the entrance by being grateful and kind on this journey to a place to quiet their minds. With awe and respect, through the garden they wander until they find a pond where they can ponder about the world they want to create, a world of understanding, not of hate. At this pondering pond, they see their reflection that's free of prejudice, hostility, and rejection. At the field of forgiveness, they pause to assess what has made this world such an unpleasant mess. It's there that they realize in order to live, people must be willing to overcome and forgive, and come to an agreement that this world is a place to fill with compassion, kindness, and grace. Arm in arm as they travel to their destination, they realize the value of how education will help them to spread harmony and peace and convince all people that hatred must cease. They avoided Camp Chaos at Belly Acres Farm, where everyone seems to be constantly alarmed.
under a tranquil tree, they sat and grew quiet. And even Max settled down and decided to try it. Serene and calm in a meditative pose, both girls relaxed with their eyes gently closed. This moment of silence was all they would need for the girls to accept that they must proceed. They would soon understand as they continued their tour, they would find the remedy that would help to cure so many of the ills that affect humankind with education and respect and an open mind. Rounding a corner, such a sight they did see, children sharing and playing and laughing with glee. Kids of all faiths and colors of skin, yet treating each other like they were kin. Diversity University was the destination where Sydney and Miriam stared in fascination. They saw Christians and Muslims and Jewish kids too, Buddhists and Taoists as well as Hindus, Catholics and Protestants and Baha'i. There was no way that anyone could deny that peace and harmony had been found with acceptance and kindness all around. This place is not depicted on any map or chart. It ultimately resides inside each person's heart. Your own compassion can always be found if you keep your mind open and just look around. Be grateful for the differences as we learn to accept why it's more vital to include than it is to reject. People whose background is different from yours and whose story and beliefs you should explore. For when people find love in a world of hate, loving kindness is the language they create. Woo!
Good. I'd like to have Miriam come on up and Deb, what we're going to do right now are there. Don't make me sing. No, you're going to sing. I won't make you sing. The kids in the back of this book, we have asked them, I got to give them a lot of credit. Do we have any of the kids that contributed in the back of the book here today? If you could stand up, I believe Matthew's here. Oh, and look at there she is. Oh, this is wonderful. Would you like to come to the front? There you go. Absolutely. I feel so. This is fun. Okay, so these kids, they helped us, and of course everybody's going to buy a dozen books so you can see everything that they wrote. You guys did a great job. And I wanted to know if all the kids that are doing the song could come up and stand right in front of the stage. Christina? Yay! Yeah, it's almost too much time, but we got something very, very special for you. If you guys can all just stand up here in front, and you guys are going to stand up here on the stage and lead us in song. This is awesome.
Go stand in the front of the stage.
Yes, come on up.
Where you want to go?
Kids go.
Somebody's singing a song.
We got another couple. Come on. We got some down, we got some up. Here. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Treat you nice too. Was always kind. I feel like I'd be their friends and I tie shoes. Because they don't want to tie shoes. Yeah.
So many things we can't control. So many things that happen every day. So many heartaches that pierce the soul. So much pain that won't ever go away. together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring.
Be nice to your friend. So you like have a lot of friends and then you have fun.
Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody really wants to go to war. If everyone wants to make things right, then what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hand. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it, not enough to sing a song. We must walk the walk about it, do our part, give our heart. We've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring.
Someone, then the other person will be kind, then we'll go on and on and on, be kind.
And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember we can be kind.
Thank you. That was extraordinary. Christina, amazing. She's extraordinary. The kids were terrific. Come on. Hi. Okay, we're back. I got really emotional. That was absolutely wonderful. I would like to thank the El Hidayah Islamic Center, the friends and family who've shown up with their love and support and encouragement and your patience. There's been a lot of patience. The amazing children that have participated today in our book creation. Christina Connors, who is my friend and an extraordinary talent. My sister from another mother, Iman Bashtawi, the Interfaith Council, Dr. Woodall, and I want to thank the Muslim community for embracing me in this mission to bring kindness and inclusion to every human being. Thank you for celebrating our shared humanity. And I'm going to leave you with the words, I'm going to paraphrase this very badly. Anthony Bourdain said that the way to world peace might just be over a dinner table. And when we break bread together, it brings us that much closer. So please stay with us, buy a whole bunch of books, and also
Eat a whole lot of food.
And eat a whole lot of food. We got cookies. It is now cookie time. Thank you so much.